Hi, this is Dee at Aloha Astro. We're looking at a full moon in Taurus at 3:58 a.m. Eastern Time on November 19th, 2021, and there will be a partial lunar eclipse going on at the same time. So we have a particularly intense full moon. Let's take a look at what I've written for the forecast. Full moon in Taurus to Gemini, Friday, November 19th, is a deeply transformative full moon as it is accompanied by the longest lunar eclipse in 580 years. As the moon opposes the sun in magnetic and secretive Scorpio, it will also move from the materially minded fixed earth sign of Taurus to the curious and imaginative mutable air sign of Gemini, activating a fate and future-seeking T-square involving the moon conjunct the north node in Gemini, the sun in Scorpio conjunct the south node in Sagittarius, and Jupiter in Aquarius. In Vedic astrology, the lunar nodes are called Rahu, north node, and Ketu, south node, the head and tail of the dragon. So don't be surprised if this mythical creature appears to you now as a symbol of your own inner power or of that which you fear. Mars, Mercury, and the Sun are all in Scorpio, making metaphysical experiences and the receipt of meaningful signs and intuitive information the norm. The activated nodes in communicative air and expansive fire can help you script a new life story and plot. Scorpio's ruling planet, powerful Pluto, in Sirius Capricorn, interacts with both the moon and sun, while nearby Venus, the planet of desire, supports action-oriented Mars in Scorpio and changemaker Uranus in Taurus, giving you the determination and stamina to stand your ground and bend things in your favor. Taurus rules the second house of personal finances, values, and self-worth, while Scorpio rules the eighth house of shared assets and merging boundaries. So manifesting more money may be important now. But it is Mercury in Scorpio trine to spiritual Neptune in limitless Pisces, which aligns you with your divinity and the true source of everything you desire as you become aware of the light which is within you and without. Be gone, shadows. Let's take a look at how things are in the sky right now, and I'm actually staying up to see this eclipse because I'm afraid if I fall asleep, I won't want to get up to see it. It's pretty interesting to see that bite coming out of the moon and the dark shadow drawing down over it from the top. It's actually up at the top of the moon and beginning to go from top to bottom. And it should finish up by about 4:30 in the morning. So it is a long eclipse, and I'm taking breaks in between. Right now I'm recording, and let's take a look at how things are here on paper. So we've got that full moon at 27 degrees 14 minutes in Taurus, and we've got the sun exactly opposite. We have Mercury close by to the sun, and we've got Mars also nearby. So we have this cluster of Scorpio energy, and then we have further Scorpio overtones because of Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio, and it's in a very powerful earth sign. So we're getting an extra dose of that Pluto Scorpio energy, almost to the point where we lose the more peaceful or earthy and realistic energy of Taurus, and we seem to be a bit heavier on the Scorpio metaphysical type of energy as opposed to the realistic Taurus energy. We also have a Taurus planet over here. We have Uranus, the planet of change, and that's hanging out in Taurus, has been for a while. And there is a T-square here that is a little bit challenging to see because it's covered up with this other T-square with the lunar nodes and Sun and Jupiter. but we do have a T-square here with Saturn, Uranus, and Mars. And we've had this for a little while now, a couple of weeks. In fact, I think it's been lingering. It just feels like it's getting old now. It's been creating a lot of tension for people, and they feel as though they want to take action on making a change, but they come up against the restrictions of Saturn. So it's a strange mix that we've had, and it's been creating problems in people's lives and impatience, feelings of frustration, annoyance, worry and fear, stress over the future. The T-square here is a bit different because it's actually going to result in the shift, I believe, as we have expansive Jupiter rather than restrictive Saturn being activated. And now we have lunar nodes, and the south node's not displaying here in Sagittarius, but it is always opposite the north node. So we have the south node over here with the sun, and we have the moon with the north node. And I often look at Gemini as, the story spinner, the imagination, the mental creativity, and then the Sagittarius energy also. The stories are very often larger, have more meaning, more philosophy behind them, more spiritual seeking. So you have the opportunity with the lunar nodes and Mercury and the Sun involved to recreate your story or listen to what you are saying. What are you thinking? What are your words? How are you communicating? And change. You can change what you say. You can change what you think and begin to create a different story. And if you are attempting to decide between one thing or another under the dualistic energy of Gemini, once we move further on into the day on Friday and you begin to experience that Gemini airy energy as opposed to the Taurus earthy energy, you may be making decisions over things. Perhaps the full moon will bring something to a head where you have to decide one way or the other on something. And hopefully this eclipse will bring things to light that you were not able to see before, or bring something up in your awareness, in your consciousness, where you will know the right thing to do. And it hopefully will also come out of some of the intense Scorpio, Capricorn, Taurus, all that earth and water with slightly dark overtones, and we'll have a shift into the lighter, youthful energy of Gemini, and the optimistic and friendly and outgoing energy of Sagittarius will be felt more as those nodes are activated, and you'll know what's best. You'll know what makes you happy. Happiness is important, but everybody's seeking something more stable, secure, long-term happiness. There can be worry, even though these are supportive aspects, the sextile and the trine from Venus in Taurus to Mars in Scorpio and Venus in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus. They're supportive, but they can also produce a really strong, insistent need to get what you want and to feel that you have some control over the situation. And it may be enough willpower, drive, and determination with these two sextiles and these two trines to persist, to actually bring something to the point of manifestation, because you won't be able to accept anything but what you truly want. And here's that trine that I mentioned in the forecast between Mercury at 21 degrees and Neptune at 20. That definitely opens up the psychic and intuitive abilities, as Mercury, the planet of communication and thought, interacts with a very spiritual planet, and they are both in psychic, intuitive, sensitive, empathetic signs. So if you deliberately ask questions, your higher self or the universe is probably going to deliver some answers to you. Let's take a look at the Sabian symbol. Taurus, 28 degrees, we round up. A woman past her change of life experiences a new love. Keynote: man's capacity to rise in consciousness and feelings above biological limitations. After having stated the youthful and the aged approach of the human individual to the use of what his culture has brought to him, the symbolism stresses man's capacity to rise above the limitations which both biological nature and the normal social pattern of behavior have tried to impose on him. As in many of the preceding symbols, a woman is pictured because at this early stage of the cyclic process, the individual consciousness still has a receptive or feminine polarity, as was indicated in the very first symbol of the entire cycle, Aries 1 degree. Whenever this third stage of the 12th sequence is brought to a person's consciousness, the indication is that he or she should freely open his or her mind to the possibility of always new re-beginnings. Ideally, the new beginning should imply a more mature response to the new possibility of experience. Astrology is always changing. We're born with a natal chart, which is a frozen moment in time. And as time moves forward and the planets move, every time we have a transit of one planet, that doesn't mean that all the other planets are in the same place. So the different permutations of the combination of the planetary transits gives you the opportunity each time there is another full moon, for instance, or new moon, or every year when the Sun, Mercury, Venus make an annual pass through Scorpio. There will be things in different places, and that gives you the opportunity to make different choices, to feel things in a different way. So your natal chart says something about you and shows you general direction for life. It's kind of like a map, but we take detours, and we also have the opportunity through planetary transits to transcend the challenging things in our natal chart, to turn the squares and the oppositions into things that actually make us feel that we've accomplished something, or we're successful, or we've finally put something to rest. And the trines and the sextiles within your natal chart are there to create ease and flow, natural talent and abilities, but we can't separate, just like we can't separate any one particular planetary aspect or transit. You have to look at the sum total of everything on any given day. The same thing within your own natal chart. All right, I think that's it. Dive deep. This is definitely a heavy full moon, but it also has the lift to it with the air and fire that follows immediately after that full moon. And there's powerful manifesting energy as well. And the ability to overcome these two T-squares, or to turn them into tools that can help you get what you want if you're willing to do the work and make the changes. Stay safe, and I will talk to you again when we have a new moon arrive about 2 weeks from now.